Well, hello. This is Rolynn from Rolynn's Reviews here with the Gridiron Geek for week 8, week 8's Jefferson County Power Poll. How did week 7 go for the Dirty Dozen of Mississippi magazine, Mr. Geek? How are you?
Well, I'm okay. My ears are still hurting from just listening to the Festus defeat at
Okay.
DeSmet High,
Okay.
or I think it might be DeSmet Prep, DeSmet the private school in St. Louis, and having a really noisy, I would say unorthodox, and not a hostile environment, but just a nerve-wracking one. The Festus Tigers, ranked number 1 in our Jefferson County Power Poll, had just the kind of anxious, mistake-filled game that we were afraid of when we recorded the predictions uh,
Okay.
for last week. So, also Hillsborough falling an unexpected defeat to another one of our teams in DeSoto, a watershed victory for the Varsity Dragons. Once again, another one of the top teams in our power poll uh, just slipping a little bit and having some warts and an otherwise continued success from the teams at the top of our power poll. So we've got some fast risers.
All right.
We've got some small schools that are moving up. We've
Okay.
got a lot of moving and shaking on the power poll this week, partially as a result of the outcomes of week 7.
Okay. So, does this mean it's time for the power poll to get more of a shake up? Shake it up. Ooh, ooh, it was an excellent song from 1981, The Cars. Go ahead, Gridiron Geek.
I think Rick Ocasek and the Cars would agree that some of the teams in the bottom and middle tier of our power poll that are just coming up as fast upstarts and
Yes.
and having watershed seasons in some cases. Um, I think those teams got just what they needed
Okay.
from week 7,
Okay.
but
I guess
I
you're
don't
just
think
what I needed.
I don't think that many of the teams near the top of the power poll, including some that have dropped out of the top half, just in the last few weeks, did not get what they needed. So we'll talk about that. We got a little bit of softening at the top and a whole lot of promise as you get to the middle and the bottom.
Okay. Well, let's get to the power poll and see who is ranked where. Starting with number 12, do we still have lively and promising teams mired at the bottom of the rankings? Gridiron, talk to me.
You betcha. Um, we have in the Crystal City Hornets, I think, at least a potential underdog bid for a district championship in Class 1.
Okay.
At number 12 and a really stacked power poll overall. I mean, you can pick at the teams at the top, but overall, what a stacked year this is of good teams in the Dirty Dozen. So it's just hard for Crystal City to move up unless they really take the bull by the horns, as
Okay.
Nelson Burton Jr. From St. Louis used to say on PBA bowling. If they take the bull by the horns and really make a big splash, a lot of noise, they could race up the power pole just as much as anybody else. Landon DeRoos, the senior quarterback, has been getting healthier,
All right.
and we're looking forward to seeing if Crystal City can claw back to 500 at 4-4 with a senior night win coming up this Friday.
Okay. Who do we have next at 11?
Number 11 is the Windsor Owls, and the Windsor Owls are coming off what I would say is their most disappointing performance of the year.
Why,
Um,
why so? What do you think
why
happened
is
here?
that?
Gridiron.
Well, losing to North County by 5 touchdowns under normal circumstances is kind of you wouldn't want to be disrespectful to the Blackbirds and say that it's an ordinary outcome or not a remarkable outcome. But in a lot of years, it wouldn't be that remarkable of an outcome.
Okay.
Um, Now that Windsor has shown so much promise. North County was having such an off year. You really thought, including myself, having predicted the upset, you really thought that Windsor could finally at least make a little more noise against some of these Mississippi Conference powers, or at
Right.
least in North County in a year where North County had slipped down a little bit. And instead they get shut out, they lose in the lopsided game. Um, I don't know exactly what to tell the Windsor Owls except to get out of the elevator that they have for a schedule. You go through the Windsor Owls schedule, they have a lopsided win over a weak team, then they have a lopsided loss to a strong team, and they go back and forth.
Oh,
Windsor hasn't played a close game since summertime, so they need to work out a little bit different schedule here starting up in 2026. That's going to give them an opportunity to play more close games.
okay. All right. All right. Who do we have next at number 10? Gridiron. Talk to me.
The Jefferson Blue Jays are in a slump. It's interesting because our 10th ranked team, Jefferson High School, is has run in kind of a mirror image before with, or in a parallel with Hillsborough. The
Okay.
teams have shared coaches. Hillsborough and Jefferson have shared coaches before. They've shared playbooks and styles and influence with each other. And it's interesting now that both teams are in a slump
Oh,
in
wow.
in here in October, and it's almost as if they're still kind of going in parallel to each other. We've had some tremendously talented teams at Jefferson in the past few years, and I think this year's team is really talented too, with Cooper Frist throwing to Noah Bueller and the potential of a really good offensive line. I mean, there's still a lot of talent on the Jefferson Blue Jays, but I think that they need to adjust, as does Hillsborough, to playing more of a ball control style, to playing more of the grinding style that both teams became known for, that made their bread and butter. I think they kind of opened things up and got a little like fancy finesse over the past few years to fit the talent that they had. And now that the teams are blue collar again,
Yeah.
they're having a hard time adjusting back to the style that they need to play. So we're hoping that the Jefferson Blue Jays could run for a lot more yards,
Okay.
block a lot more consistently, and to make another charge up the power pole. Um, they're going to have to control the ball and give their defense a lot more rest than they have.
Yeah. Sounds like my Cowboys.
The Cowboys defense,
A
uh,
lack
a, a,
thereof. Oh,
a lack thereof, a prime case of a defense that could use some ball control from its offense, huh?
yes, yes, yes. Gridiron, help me. Please help me, sir.
The
Who do we have next at number 9? Gridiron.
Herculaneum Black Cats, having a noble season, getting ready to take on Perryville in what I think is not supposed to be a senior night game at Black Cat Drive, but I think it's going to be a pink
Oh,
ribbon game
okay.
this weekend against Perryville. You hate to see Herculaneum kind of mired in this part of their schedule again, having to take on the larger schools from the Quad County Conference. I think of all teams, Herky would be one that you would like to just throw them a steep underdog. Right now, throw them a Little Debbie's cupcake
Oh, yeah.
and get them the easy win because they deserve it. What a terrific year so far for the Herky Black Cats. So um, whatever happens against Perryville, we're excited to see what um, Coach Blaine Boss's team can do in the playoffs. And I
Okay.
personally think that they will at least be a district semifinal team in week 11.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Gridiron. Who do we have next at number 8? Oh, let me guess. Is it the Fox Warriors? I am the warrior. Warriors, can you come out to play? Oh, I just went back. Oh,
you know, I've been waiting for the perfect time to used the YouTube clip of Come Out to Play from The
Yes.
Warriors.
Yes.
Still one of my favorite action
Oh,
movies.
classic. Boom. One of my
It's
all-time
a
favorites.
wonder wheel.
Oh,
And I've been waiting for the perfect time to post that. But, I don't know that, who is it, Luther?
uh-huh.
Driving the hearse and banging the bottles.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm still waiting for what I think will be an appropriate time, if there ever is one, to use that at Mississippi Magazine. But yes, unfortunately, the Fox Warriors of Arnold are in free fall.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I have regretted to say on Mississippi Magazine in the last couple of weeks that I think Coach Brent Tinker
Yeah.
might be on the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
I think that the landscape has been changing around Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, they play a mean brand of old school Army, Navy
Oh, wow.
option football, and they keep it on the ground and they play hard-nosed defense and all that stuff. And I believe in that style of football.
Right.
Here you see me in the Georgia Tech shirt. I got this from the Paul Johnson years at Georgia Tech,
Oh,
is
wow.
how much I personally enjoy, and I followed Army and Navy, but I think the landscape is changing. And I think right now, what Fox has been doing again and again with their very stubborn style has sort of made it's made the kids tune out a little bit, and they're
Okay.
playing like a tuned out team. So Fox was really
Yeah.
a 2 touchdown favorite last week against Lindbergh. They were losing the whole time and they lost the game.
Yeah.
So we hate to rank a such a large school, a class 5 school, all the way down to number 8, even below a class 1 team in the Grandview Eagles. But right now, I'm looking at all the lively teams in the Dirty Dozen, and I'm saying these teams are tuned in. Fox is a little bit tuned out. So we'll have to see what the Arnold School Board does, if there's a change coming up this offseason. I don't know, but Fox coaching chair is on the clock.
Okay. That sounds interesting. Gridiron. Gridiron. Let's look at who we have on next at 7. And I'm going to give you a hint. I
What's that?
want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. 1976 was a good year. Boom. There you go, Gridiron.
Hey, we've got the sound effects working again. I'm so
Woo.
happy.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
Yes.
Um, I uh, do believe that your hint is a correct one, because we've got the Grandview Eagles, the Birds of Prey,
Of
at
course.
number 7.
Yeah.
Um, Grandview could be getting ready to do something really special this weekend as a class 1 school. So in the smallest enrollment class
Okay.
in the Quad County Conference, with multiple large schools, including the Perryville Pirates, who were in the final 16 of the class 4 bracket last year. I
Okay.
went to Festus and played at Mid Meadow Lane in a championship game there in week 12. Grandview could actually come out on top of this conference and either win outright or win a share of the Quad County Conference title in 2025 with a victory
Okay.
coming up this weekend against the St. Vincent Indians. Now, I know that Brendan Martin's team,
Okay.
I know that they read the Mississippi Magazine a lot.
Right.
Grandview's line, led by Tucker Reinhardt, weighs about a metric ton. So after seeing this power poll, they might be on their way to beat me up.
Send
But
them Dallas. Said, please, send. We need help in Dallas, please.
yeah, we need to send Tucker Reinhardt play a little moonlighting on defense for the Dallas
Yes,
Cowboys this year.
please.
But I think that there might be a few long faces when they see the St. Pius Lancers ranked ahead of them, and I want to address that.
Okay.
We do not have a power poll this year that in which the teams are separated by very much. In
Okay.
fact, the power poll this year has involved a lot of guesswork, because we've had, in my opinion, 12 promising teams at junctures of this season, you couldn't look at any of the dozen teams and say that they weren't, potentially doing some really good things. So the difference between 6 and 7 is like what, I don't know. I think if Grandview and St. Pius played 10 times, they'd probably split them 5-5 this season. But we put St. Pius, a slightly larger school, ahead because at number 6, I'm giving away number 6 now, but I just want to explain that this year we've had so many teams that looked like they were both so talented and just deadlocked, and you couldn't rank one over the other.
Right.
We've had to just go back to basing it on the size of the school. So St. Pius is a little bit bigger in this case, and we ranked up at number 6. But no offense, Birds of Prey. We hope you win the conference title.
Sounds good to me. So the Gridiron Geek seems as though he has already covered number 6. So we will move on. Gridiron, talk to me now and tell me, who do you have at number 5?
Well, number 6 I gave away, but I wanted to touch on the event that's coming up with the St. Pius Lancers. It's okay. I'll make this for both of them.
Okay.
I'll make it for St. Pius and Hillsborough in this segment.
A twofer.
A 2 for segment.
Boom.
It's hard to fit St. Pius's event coming up in week 8 as into a duplex, as it were, because we're calling it the St. Pius Bowl, as St. Pius X of Kansas City visits St. Pius X of Festus.
Okay.
And just a gala event. We think that St. Pius X Warriors of Kansas City are a little bit above the St. Pius Lancers, still the developing St. Pius Lancers with a lot of youngsters in their form this year, but not by more than 3 or 4 touchdowns. So it should be an entertaining game.
Okay.
And we give both teams kudos for booking such a neat event as the St. Pius Bowl, which will be repeated next year in Kansas City, by the way.
All right.
As for the Hillsborough Hawks are a reputation ranking at number 5 right now.
Yeah.
After the loss to the DeSoto Dragons, after the loss to the Festus Tigers, those are the types of things that can tend to make Hillsborough a little bit downtrodden on the gridiron.
Yeah.
Mostly because they still take their conference schedule so seriously. Hillsborough is one of the teams that needs to just take a cold shower right now and realize that this is all still ahead of them. All of their conference rivals are in the district and will be in the postseason bracket with the Hillsborough Hawks. So no reason to panic yet. I think there's still time for to right a few wrongs, as a few coaches around here like to say, when you go back and get to play some of the same teams over again in the postseason.
Okay.
So sky's still the limit for Braxton Chazelle's team.
Okay. All right. Who does the Gridiron Geek have picked at number 4? Oh, let me give you a hint. Puff the magic dragon lives by the sea.
Yeah, and everybody's hazy on the lyrics from there. I think I was one of the children who learned it right. Nevertheless, I think that DeSoto definitely put some magic into the Friday Night Lights scene here last weekend by conquering Hillsborough. Going into the DeSoto Hillsborough game, I said this was the first year in recent times when I felt like DeSoto could beat Hillsborough without getting lucky.
Oh, wow.
And so in a slugfest of a game, DeSoto emerges as the 1-score victor and potentially takes a really nice seed into that upcoming district tournament with Festus and Hillsborough and Perryville and other rivals still competing in District 1. So we really like what DeSoto has done in the backfield with the sophomore quarterback, Cannon Kisner.
Right.
The upper class running back, Eli Tebow. And we think that DeSoto should also be a team that we'd be sorely disappointed if we don't see him competing in week 11 and maybe week 12.
Okay, that sounds interesting. All right, who does the Gridiron Geek have at number 4? Hold on, I'll give you a hint.
No, number three now.
Number 3.
We're
Oh,
number three. We move. DeSoto was number four.
that's right. We're at number 3, and I just gave you a hint. So tell me.
Well, I would say that number three is probably where people have the least suspense in the power poll right now when they hear it.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry about the bad timing. We love your hijinks, and we love clowning around on the air so much. It's better than the football, really.
Yeah, we
But
have.
I'm kidding. But you know, and singing together and all that. But when it comes to being clever about number three and the number two rung right now, I'm afraid
Oh.
we really don't have a lot of change.
Mm-hmm.
Northwest has the Northwest Lions have uh, really had a livelier season in many respects than Seckman over the past several weeks. But
Okay.
Seckman still has that pesky victory from week 3 by
Yep.
5 touchdowns that they can hold over the Northwest Lions. So you know, if rightfully, if we rank Northwest over Seckman, I think there would be a lot of you know
Yeah.
complaining, and rightfully so. I think Seckman's earned the right to stay in number 2, but the Northwest Lions having such a lively year, a big blowout win over Hazelwood West
Okay.
last week, and what should be another blowout win over Parkway Central coming up. I don't think I'm giving away the Friday night predictions to say that.
We shall soon see. Who does the Gridiron Geek have picked for number 2?
Well, number 2, the Seckman Jaguars of
Okay.
Imperial, Missouri. Been in number 2 position a lot this season.
Okay.
And I think that even though Seckman from Imperial, the same town that Windsor High School is in, so much of a discrepancy in where they are currently ranked in Jefferson County, but
Okay.
they could both do with a schedule overhaul. Now, my understanding is that Seckman is going to get somewhat of an overhaul to its schedule next season, which is good news. Because once again, you know, Seckman has outgrown where the program was 10 years ago, just night and day,
Yeah.
outgrown that you know, that past failure with just marvelous success year after year. And they've kind of outgrown some of the schedules that their really overbearing conference, the Suburban League, has put them in these crazy, just okay, you have to play these 8 teams, and like they're, you know, half of them are just not on a competitive level that they could be competitive with what who Seckman is now. So they are going to get a little bit of a change to the schedule coming up. For right now, Seckman has 3 teams in a row, starting with the last week, and then this week, and then week 9. Absolutely can't touch the Jaguars. I mean, the games are like academic formalities. It's Alabama versus Savannah State.
Oh,
Okay, Alabama versus Western Carolina, that sort of thing. You know,
hey,
so
hey, for
yeah,
that.
but that's not the Seckman Jaguars' fault.
Okay.
I think they have to look at the bright side and say that they know they've got a playoff showdown coming up with Northwest that might as well already be booked for week 11. And I think that they really have to gear everything to that, and so does Northwest. So it's just this big grand finale coming down the pike, and a lot of sleepy games in between for number 2 and number 3.
Oh, okay. We shall see. You frightened me right here just before Halloween is coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to see how that works out.
I
And
didn't mean I didn't mean to frighten anyone, Rolynn.
hey, frightful.
And I quote. We're going to share Halloween costumes soon. Don't worry about that.
Well, every year I dress as the Cat in the Hat, so I have my I'll put that on for our Halloween edition.
Classic,
Yeah.
vintage. We have a Friday
Yeah.
night on Halloween this year, you know.
Okay, so
So we're
I
gonna
will
have some
dress.
spooky football. Yeah.
I'll even send you a picture when we're done with this. I'll show you. We're at the number one spot, Gridiron. Now I want to give you a hint as to who we're talking about in the number one spot. Rising up, back on the street, did my time, took my chances. Went
You
the
know,
distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive.
last week's loss at
Yeah.
Smed was really painful enough for the Festus Tigers that
Yeah.
it was almost like Hulk Hogan was in the ring beating everybody up, including Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, don't alone, please.
Uh, but and it feels weird to have a number one ranked team in the power poll that just lost by 28 points to any opponent.
That is weird.
Because in a year like this, I mean, we've had eras of football in the past where it wouldn't be so out of the ordinary, but it feels a little weird this time. But we still have to keep Festus in number one position for right now because the Tigers have earned it. They're still 6-1 on the season. They're still a clinched number one seed in the District 1 tournament coming up starting in week 10, although we think that they'll get a bye through that week and once again be up for week 11 in the semifinals. And there's just too many good performances on record from Parker Perry and the Tigers to rank them down based on one game. But we want them to show something this week on the homecoming Friday night and avoid the homecoming blues and have a good game, win or lose, against a tough opponent in Farmington. And if they do that, they'll be safe in number one.
Okay, well, we shall soon see. Oh my goodness. My, how the time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so much, Gridiron Geek. This has been a recap of the Week 8 Jefferson County Power Poll on Rolling Up the River with the Gridiron Geek. See you next time for Week 9's Friday Night Predictions. Woo!
See you then.